talk to the crows on the wire. They carry a voice I still know. My hands in the dirt, pulling fire from seeds that the dead helped me sow. The gardens remember what I can't forget. A woman who lived here I've already met.
We're at Bellosguardo with my dear friend Benjamin Millepied. This is Tell Belle, and we're going to chat all about this extraordinary man who brought LADP, this amazing, amazing dance company out of LA, all over the world, and also now home to Santa Barbara and Montecito. So this is a very special day, Benjamin, to sit with you because we've been dreaming about this time for a long time. The last, how many years have you been coming to Santa Barbara?
Gosh, I think probably the first time was 2020 that we met.
Yeah.
It was 2020. And I've been coming since 2012. Yeah. Oh no, earlier, 2006.
To Santa Barbara.
Yeah. First came in 2006, but I used to live here.
Yeah, I used to live here.
Yeah.
And then we were connected by our wonderful mutual friend, Jennifer Smith.
That's right.
And you had dreamed of doing something in Santa Barbara that I'll let you share what the vision was, because we went on lots of scout locations and adventures to lead to this moment.
Yeah, I think first of all, really I started LA Dance Project in LA in 2012, and it's called LA Dance Project in the sense that it's not only a dance company. In LA we've built educational programs. We've done, we certainly work is created in the studio and taken to stages everywhere, but we also do a lot of site-specific work. We've done a lot of films, and we also have a space in LA that is a space that we give out, and we also have a grant program where we give residencies to choreographers who work and live in Los Angeles and get to have a place to make work and present it. We also present work that's not our own or our space. So it's a much larger project than just simply a dance company. And obviously being in love in LA is also something about loving California, obviously, and that part of the American West. And Santa Barbara is a place that I fell in love with early on. Really for its relationship to nature. I think it's a sophisticated place with a really interesting history. A lot of artists lived here, and there's certainly a rich history. And I felt that it would be there's something that I've always wanted, because I really do love to curate dance. Dance Project does not only do my work, and I love to curate. I wanted to potentially start a festival here. There really is no, I would say, really significant international dance festival in California. In California alone, So the idea that we could slowly, conservatively start a week-long festival here that really celebrates dance in America and dance abroad, and also as part of the festival, be a festival that commissions, where we begin to have work that is made here, made for the Santa Barbara Festival, that becomes part of this great archive of commissions. I think is really exciting, and is what I'd like to create here. Of course, with LA Dance Project taking a part of this festival, but also there's the Santa Barbara Ballet to become. That's the new name here in Santa Barbara, to take part in it. So to be mindful of the story and the history of the groups that are here, then also to So the reality is that the festival could take place could be something like a year could celebrate American dance and American history in dance, and bringing back work like Martha Graham used to grew up here, for example, and you could have some of the great American dance makers, old and new, and then you could every year you could start to focus on different different areas of the world or different types of dance, and just have something that's really rich, that's really not to miss. And I think also what I'd like to do is to make use of the city, that this festival could take place in different parts of the city. Because I think there's also something for these people discovering Santa Barbara and different spots in Santa Barbara, whether it's things that are outdoors that are free or existing theaters, to bring them into the already existing culture of the space that support and present culture in Santa Barbara.
This is so thrilling on truly every level. I feel like, there's so many cross-pollinations that we've already explored in this amount of time of connecting and working together, such as last night, State Street Ballet opened their doors to you.
Mm-hmm.
You've opened a connection, through my work with the Music Academy in that world. There's so many infinite ways to do this together and to dance onward. And it's really remarkable. And this was a big part of the conscious conversation when we first were meeting about this, was to come in with open arms. You're not in any sort of a takeover space. You're a collaborator.
No.
And yet you're also bringing the highest level of dancers and connection from all around the world. I've seen, at the Champs-Élysées, Théâtre Champs-Élysées. We've gone to watch you in Paris. I've seen you in LA. We've seen you recently, a month ago today. They were dancing. Your incredible team is dancing on the pier for free.
Santa Barbara,
So in Santa Barbara, and so just to have these branches of this very deeply rooted tree of dance, to move onward in this way of this cross-pollinating, I find amazing and so needed to move the needle for the arts, to do it together. So I really appreciate your open heart to that. Mm-hmm. And for the future, wanting to collaborate as a festival. And I'm also, would be ridiculous not to mention the history of where you came from too, was your own dance and films before you went into the launch of LADP. Would you share a little bit about your history as an artist? Because it's really something.
I think one of the things I wanted to jump on, what you were saying, and I'll go back is that the beauty with dance is that dance is an art form that can bring all the other art forms together, like music, like new music, like art, contemporary art, visual art, photography. I certainly there's a lot of ways to encompass. Like that's really the collaborative aspect, and the fact that this idea of the total work of art, where you really bring together all of these forms of art for dance, it brings together actually all kinds of audiences, which is really exciting. And I just think maybe my curiosity towards, just to maybe talk about like why the dance is such a passion, like a lifelong passion. I grew up certainly music was the starting point, and music is what made me want to move, and music is what made me want to create even as a child. And dance was something that was incredibly like soothing and where I could explore all these different emotions. But it was really, I would say, because the sort of how harmonious, how beautiful a space music created for me. So I was lucky to also grow up in a family of musicians, and that was very influential. And then really, I was a child who was interested in love movies and just love art, the arts in general. And I was lucky to have the opportunity to go to a school with good teachers in Lyon, and then get moved to New York SAB when I was 15, and then joined New York City Ballet when I was 17, and dance at in what I believe is the company with the finest choreography in the world, the work of George Balanchine and John Robbins. So that was the ballets I love to dance, and an amazing place. As far as being educated with great works, being educated with great music. Peter Martin's constantly invited really amazing composers and conductors. A lot of great commissions were done, and he was very supportive of my career, both as a dancer and as a choreographer, and really launched me, as I expressed to him that I had the interest. And I think for him, the fact that he had felt this own urge. He was only able to respect someone else's urge for it, and certainly didn't hold me back at all. I'm really grateful for that.
Mm. You know, my mom was invited to join the New York City Ballet when she was 18. And this has been so healing for me to give to you as a fund, because I've been a supporter since we met with LADP. I shared I'm going out as the finale. One of my very finale events is this at Bellosguardo. And I was just visiting my mother because she was in the hospital in and out all of this past few weeks, as I had mentioned. And I said to her last night, you know, Mom, this is really for you.
Right.
Because when even though she had an injury when she was 18 and pivoted her life, we always had a dancing room. We always had, my father would say, the exposure to the arts, the need to listen to music, classical music in the car for 4 hours. It became an infusion where my parents' appreciation, that exposure became part of truly my heartbeat. You know, every day was part of it. So even though I always, I share my mother and my sister were the dancers, there's been something really healing in finding that within myself again through supporting you and supporting both these programs such as City of Dance that you've now accessed it for many others to be outside, to be in nature, to be connecting, to be healing.
Yes.
And mental health. We've talked about all of these things, the power of dance. And to also, have that beautiful tribute to something I experienced as a child, including watching your films, including being so moved by the duality you've explored in your films and in the power of the human form and body and movement. So it's really quite the fusion of all the things as you shared. Even if you don't think you're a dancer, it's how we move through the world, right? That absolutely is a thread for us all. So it's a very exciting night. And tonight premieres the new fund. Will you share a little bit about what we're creating?
Well, I think part of this festival, which I think would differentiate too, is the ability to commission new pieces. So I think tonight is this idea of this fund for new choreography, and also unveiling to people that next year we will have a week-long festival, and it doesn't have to be the most ambitious version of it, certainly, but has a level of quality that will really inspire people to want to see grow, and ultimately, in a place like Santa Barbara that has a rich history, that has had and has currently lots of intellectual, the city itself needs to continue to define itself by creating things like an arts festival, a dance festival. It's really, really important. So, and particularly in this moment in time, because the arts are what makes our world so special, as far as I'm concerned, and also artists write the story of our time through the work that they make, and this is something that is a really fantastic legacy, and it's be a fantastic legacy to the city to start this festival. So I'm hoping everyone will be excited.
And how do we contribute to this new beginning? How do we invest in because that's what it is too. We're planting seeds for our own future to grow alongside you in this community by people giving.
I mean, I think it's always when you certainly I've lived here and I know this place, but now we start to talk about launching this. It's also really important to spend time talking to people who live here and who will have advice and ideas, and just kind of really get informed. And fairly soon I'll come up with a program for the first year. And once this program is done, the idea is to really budget it and fund it. So.
And do we fund you through LADP still? Is it the same website?
Yeah, it will be through the company. Yeah, okay, the festival will be absolutely run through the company. It'll be a side fund, but it'll absolutely be run through Elegance Project. Yeah. Okay,
extraordinary. Well, I'm excited. So tonight you have some performances. We'll be so excited to capture with Do Tell Belle, and you have a beautiful dinner in the Lath House, which is something my sister and I invested in restoring for community, for this exact purpose. We had, an Alice Waters dinner in the same space. A few months ago, we've had movement classes in the Lath House, and my true dream, as you know from our friendship, is to regenerate the land and to connect with children also learning how to be sovereign in the land and connect to the land. Because when I believe the soil and the soul are in harmony, the infinity is magic every day. It's amazing space if you're fed through the soul and the soil, and you're fed beautiful food. So we're so excited to be starting a garden here as well, outside the Lath House, and I feel like this is a true blessing for the land, for the music, for the dancers, and for our community. So thank you merci beaucoup for joining us in this.
Thank you.
In this beautiful day, and for your brilliance and creativity, and for your friendship.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam, to you. Thank
Merci.
you so much for your support. It really means the world to me.
Merci.
Thank you.